In times where distraction reigns and the superficial seems sufficient, these reflections invite us to pause, look within, and reconnect with what truly matters. They speak of change, authenticity, self-love, and inner strength. They remind us that growth doesn't depend on circumstances, but on the decision to become better. Each word is a call to awaken, to live more consciously, and to transform life from the root. Combined with Stoic wisdom, these ideas offer guidance and courage to walk the hardest and most valuable path, the path of becoming fully oneself. Let's begin. Reflection 1. Change and personal growth. There is always hope and possibility for change because there is always an opportunity to learn. Every human being has the capacity to grow, evolve, and surpass themselves, far beyond what they might imagine. Within each person lives a force that drives growth, an energy that can manifest if we unlock the limiting beliefs of the past. The Stoic teacher Epictetus used to say that no man is born wise, but every man can aspire to wisdom. Change begins with knowing oneself. Daily discipline and reflection are the soul's path to freedom. Becoming better depends solely on oneself, not on the favor of fortune. Personal transformation is a natural process when this inner potential is recognized. Just as a seed contains the possibility of becoming a great plant, every human being carries within them a vast capacity for evolution. The key lies in connecting with that vital force and allowing ourselves to unfold it. To live fully is to recognize that change lives within us. Whenever there is the will to grow, a path is possible. Becoming better depends on our openness to learn and change, because those who learn improve, and those who improve transform their lives. Growth is a way to express our deepest essence. Reflection 2. Don't let others define you. We must not allow the limited perceptions of others to define who we are. Each person interprets the world through their own beliefs, experiences, and stories. Therefore, what someone says about you is not an absolute truth, but their subjective view of reality. The Stoic Emperor Marcus Aurelius believed that others' opinions are like smoke that vanishes. What matters is living in harmony with your nature and reason. If you know who you are, no external judgment can define you. Be your own judge and act with integrity, without fear of others' words. No one sees you entirely, they only perceive a part. Sometimes those opinions aim to diminish you so the speaker can feel better about themselves. It's easier to reduce others than to elevate oneself. You have the power to accept or reject others' opinions. You can choose who to listen to and who to ignore. Being selective about what you incorporate into your identity is a sign of inner strength. You are not what others say. You are what you choose to believe about yourself. External opinions should not become your internal reality. Your true self-image is born from your awareness, not from the judgment of others. Reflection 3. The value of a hug. Affection is essential nourishment for emotional well-being. It is said that we need several hugs a day, some to survive, others to maintain ourselves, and many more to grow. A hug is not just a physical gesture. It is a deep act of connection that transmits acceptance, comfort, energy, and love. The Stoic teacher Seneca used to say that nothing human is foreign to us, and that compassion is also a virtue. To embrace is not weakness, it is emotional wisdom. The wise open themselves to others without losing themselves, for they understand the value of sincere affection. Living virtuously includes the art of comforting and accompanying. It helps us feel valued, heard, and supported. Physical touch has real effects on the body and mind. It reduces stress, regulates the heartbeat, and elevates our mood. When we embrace, we create bonds that nurture self-esteem and strengthen confidence. It's not just a social gesture, but an emotional necessity with a vital function. A genuine hug brings calm, relief, and strength. No one is indifferent to a sincere hug. Sometimes, that small act has a transformative power. In a world often driven by haste and distance, hugging remains one of the most human and healing acts. Reflection. 4. Change begins within. No one can force another person to change. True change happens when a person is ready and willing to open up from within. While others may suggest or inspire, only the one undergoing the process holds the key to transform their life. The Stoic master Epictetus said that no one can teach you if you are not willing to learn. Change begins when you accept responsibility. The external world can only spark the idea, but willpower is born within. One who hasn't decided to improve will stay the same, even if the whole world tries to lead them to the light. You can't teach someone who doesn't want to learn, nor lead someone who doesn't want to be guided. Change requires a conscious decision, a personal will to take the step. In educational or workplace settings, for example, motivation is essential. Without it, any external effort becomes futile. When someone is convinced they want to change, an inner engine activates. That gives meaning to effort. What truly drives growth is not pressure, but conviction. Each person holds a door that only they can open from the inside. That's why the best thing we can do is accompany, inspire, and offer paths. But the journey, the true journey, always begins with an inner decision. Reflection. 5. The power of believing you can. All learning begins when we believe we can achieve something. Belief in our own abilities is the starting point for any change. If we don't trust that it's possible, we won't take action to move forward. The expectations we hold about ourselves determine our attitude. If they're high, we seek solutions, make efforts, adapt, and persevere. If they're low, we give up before even trying. The Stoic philosopher Seneca believed that we often defeat ourselves before beginning. The mind builds walls the body never would. If you believe you can, you've already taken a step. Courage isn't the absence of fear, but acting despite it, trusting your inner strength. The key lies in mindset. Believing we can leads us to try, and by trying, we learn and improve. This doesn't mean it's easy, but it is possible. Those who trust themselves set more ambitious goals and break down big challenges into achievable steps. It all starts with a thought. I can do it. From there, the path is built with study, practice, mistakes, and adjustments. But without that initial spark, nothing begins. Believing is the first step to doing, and doing is the path to growing. Reflection 6. Authenticity and self-love. Nowhere in the world is there someone exactly like you. There may be similar people, but your combination of thoughts, emotions, and experiences is entirely unique. That's why everything that comes from you is authentically yours. Recognizing yourself as a unique being is the foundation for self-acceptance, love, and appreciation. Authenticity allows us to live in alignment with who we are, without needing to fit into others' molds. The Stoic Emperor Marcus Aurelius said that the most valuable thing in a human being is to be oneself, without shame. Living according to your nature is the greatest honor. Pretending to please others is weakness. Your duty is to be true, not popular. What the majority thinks does not define who you are. When a person fully accepts themselves, they can work for their well-being and growth with enthusiasm and honesty. Denying yourself to please others only dilutes your ability to make an impact. Every human being has something special to offer, but to do so they must know, accept, and respect themselves. Authenticity is not about being perfect. It's about being real. When that state is reached, it becomes easier to face fears, explore the unknown, and grow from a place of self-respect and compassion. Being yourself is the first act of self-love. Reflection 7. Love, acceptance, and trust. The deepest feelings only flourish in environments where individuality is valued, mistakes are accepted, communication is open, and rules are flexible. Trust is the central element in every healthy relationship. It allows people to show up as they are, without fear of judgment. In such an environment, acceptance becomes the foundation for personal and relational growth. Seneca believed that true love is accepting the other as they are, not as we wish them to be. Where there is judgment, there is no lasting bond. Affection is born from understanding, not control. Friendship and love blossom only where there is freedom to be oneself. Being accepted unconditionally removes guilt, fosters emotional openness, and creates lasting bonds. To love without clinging, value without judging, and support without invading. This is how we build relationships that nourish both people. In an atmosphere of respect and acceptance, individuals can grow together, recognizing and celebrating their differences. From that foundation, love becomes a transformative force that helps overcome fear, open the heart, and build truly meaningful relationships. Without acceptance, there is no space for trust. Without trust, there is no relationship. Reflection 8. Communication and self-esteem. Every word, gesture, or action sends a message. Especially within the family environment, these messages have a deep impact on self-esteem. It's not only what is said that matters, but also what is left unsaid. Looks, silences, attitudes, or reactions. Self-esteem is not formed only through praise or positive phrases, but through the entire landscape of daily communication. Epictetus said that to educate is not to speak a lot, but to teach by example. Every gesture communicates values. Children don't learn from speeches. They learn from the attitudes they witness. Respect, firmness, and tenderness build character. Speak with your behavior before you speak with your words. In every interaction, we affect others emotionally. Authentic, respectful, and affectionate communication strengthens personal security. That's why it's essential to be aware of how we relate to those around us, especially children, who learn who they are through what adults reflect back to them. The relationship we build with them can either give them wings or cut them off. The key is to create an environment where care, affection, and real presence become foundational. In this way, we help raise individuals who are more confident, valuable, and self-aware. Reflection 9. Being fully human. To become fully human means to let go of fear, connect with one's essence, and develop the courage needed to grow. Each person holds within them unlimited potential that can flourish if given space to grow. This process is not automatic. It requires awareness, commitment, and self-love. The journey of personal growth rests on 4 key pillars: strengthening self-esteem, making decisions with autonomy, taking responsibility for one's actions, and acting with authenticity. Marcus Aurelius taught that being human is to live with reason, act with justice, and not fear pain or death. Humanity is not about perfection, but about striving to live with virtue. The more consistent you are with yourself, the more fully human you become. When these elements are present, a more balanced, coherent, and fulfilling life takes shape. Being more human does not mean being flawless. It means being in tune with your values, desires, and capabilities. This model of growth benefits not only the individual, but also families and communities. By strengthening the individual, relationships also grow stronger. And when each person takes ownership of their growth, conflicts can be addressed with greater understanding. Reflection 10. Attitude changes everything. Life rarely goes exactly as we expect. Often situations arise that are completely out of our control. What truly makes the difference is not what happens, but how we respond to it. The attitude we adopt in the face of adversity defines our experience. In uncertainty, we can choose between complaint or calm, resistance or acceptance. Epictetus said that you don't control what happens, but you do control how you interpret it. If you act with calm, the storm passes without dragging you down. Choose your attitude like one chooses a noble weapon, consciously. All external things are neutral. Your judgment is what gives them meaning. Having a good attitude does not mean resignation. It means facing reality with balance and wisdom. Accepting things as they are frees us from unnecessary suffering and helps us focus on what we can change. Attitude is our greatest freedom and one of the most powerful tools we have to face life. When we act from calm, courage, and trust, even difficult circumstances become opportunities for growth. Serenity comes from accepting what is, not from expecting everything to be as we wish. That is where true strength lies.